Hi guys, welcome back to this place. If you are new, welcome here for the very first time. I'm Carmen, and today, this is Loki. We are watching season 4, episode 2 of Battlestar Galactica. And this is actually a part 2 as well, which I had no idea when I started watching part 1 that they were going to cliffhanger me like that. However, I am ready to continue on season 4. Last time we had the beginnings of Gaius sort of having or starting a following, and we had him healing the little boy. Now, did Head 6 heal the boy for him? Was it Gaius and he just didn't know? Was it God? Was it, XYZ? Really only time is going to tell, so we'll find out as we continue watching what the storyline for that is going to be, with the Christ-like symbolism and all of the religious aspect that we've had from Gaius in the past. I'm really curious to see where that whole storyline goes. Now, I don't want to bury the lead. At the very end of the two-parter, we also had Starbuck pull a gun on the president, which, I am so excited to see where that goes. So curious. I do not think that Starbuck will pull the trigger, personally. Doesn't seem like a Starbuck thing to do, so I don't think she will. But, yeah. Again, it's a we gotta press play and find out thing. What else happened? Yeah, other stuff happened, but Gaius and the kid and his followers, aka possible cult, and Starbuck getting upset about going further away from where they're supposed to be going, and then also pulling a gun on Rosalind because she said if they do one more jump that she'll forget where they're supposed to go completely. Also concerning, Also where we are. Yeah. I'm gonna stop talking. Let's just watch this episode and see what happens next.
I went down to that planet with you, and it was a fracking toaster party. A lot of good people died, remember?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Oh, is she mad because she won't trust her back?
On a vision. Shoot me.
If you think I'm a Cylon, then I'm your enemy.
Shoot your enemy.
Oh, wow.
I'm no more a Cylon than you are. And you know it.
But actually, we don't know that. Nobody knows that. I mean, look at Tyrell, look at Ty. Y'all think y'all know that they're not a Cylon?
If I'm a Cylon, shoot me!
They made you perfect, didn't they?
Shot fire!
Down on the floor! Down on the floor now!
You see Rosalind has a gun, right?
The Raiders refused to fight because they sensed the final five might be in the colonial
They could have been caught. They could be in hiding.
Okay, so that is why. They knew partially that Anders was one of them.
Something extraordinary has happened. Something is calling to us, pushing us to discover our origins, to understand our place in the universe. The Raiders are part of that, and the final five
Are anywhere but with the humans.
That's very incorrect, Cavill. You're just super wrong. Super wrong.
You're the president's wet nurse.
I would not antagonize
You were the one who doesn't have the guts.
right now. Oh, maybe that's what she wants. Because she kind of wants them to kill her.
The Raiders were designed to do a specific job. They stopped doing it. I'm fixing that. And when the cutting's all done, they'll go back to being happy warriors. So let's move on, all right?
Why?
To the Admiral. Who commands the men and women of Galactica?
Everybody getting drunk as fuck.
Two absent friends.
Oh, come
What's it gonna cost you? Oh my god. Oh my giddy aunt. Get a grip, Gaius. If she's not lying, she really could be a wonderful source of information.
Weird. He has a head Gaius now?
Is it you, Six? In disguise? And why would she need to disguise herself from you? Well, you've got a very good point. Let's talk about Tori. So, where is she now, shall we? Should we talk about Tori? Because we both know where this is heading. You like her, don't you?
Yeah, well, you know, she's a sexy lady.
Yeah, yeah.
You would rather be wrong about her and face your own demise than risk losing her again.
Probably, yeah.
You can stay in the room. Get out of my head.
Yeah, but you're only saying that because she's right.
Good luck on your journey, Leodama.
Why is your butt flame up?
You too, Gareth.
I don't know why this has to be goodbye. Kiss. Yeah. Kind of figured.
In recognition of honorable, loyal, and faithful service, Major Lee Adama. Salute!
Oh. You did get a kid.
Come in.
Is it Deanna? Was I right the first time? Or is it... Oh fuck. Oh fuck. It's the Centurions. Oh, you're all dead.
Centurions can't vote, Six.
Nope.
No, they're not here to
You're all dead. They're here to kill you. Honestly, kind of here for it. But won't they just wake up in those little pods? Is he gonna follow her coordinates? But not tell the president?
So I handpicked a crew for you. I'm giving you a ship. And I won't lose you again.
He loves her so much.
Now go.
Sorry.
Find a way to Earth.
I think she can and she will. Now, whether or not once she does they should follow that is like the movie kind of brings into question, does it not? Okay, wow. I don't know. This episode kind of leaves me a little bit sad, honestly. Like, I feel sad because I want them to have a happy ending. You know, I want humanity to succeed. But I also think that it would be a really cool ending if ultimately, like, the humans and Cylons could come together and not have all this vitriol and hate between them. And they could actually make a peace treaty that would last, and there could be this understanding that there is more to both the humans and Cylons than either had originally sort of allowed. You know, like, I think that would be the ultimate ending for me personally on this show, because we have seen moments of the Cylons being, you know, victimized, and of understanding like where their hatred for humanity comes from. Like, we've seen that. Now, at every sort of opportunity, the Cylons have chosen violence when they could have chosen a different course, and obviously I vastly disagree with that, and I hate that that's what they keep doing, especially like on New Caprica, for example. That was the perfect opportunity when they found them to be like, you know what, let's start off on a new foot, or is that the saying? Let's start off like, what the fuck am I trying to say? let's begin a new chapter. Sure, we'll go with that one. And we can make an alliance. We can coexist peacefully. We can show y'all that we're not all the same and we're not evil and we're not trying to like subjugate humanity and all that stuff. And instead of doing that, the Cylons chose to be fucking dicks and try to commit another mass genocide, even though they said that they already realized that they shouldn't have done that. But I think that the hope, honestly, for the Cylons is the Sixes, the Sharons, and the Leobans, because they seem to actually, like, they want to know about the Final Five. They want to learn the truth of who they are and where they come from, which I think is something that humans can understand. And they also seem to be more sympathetic to humans and the human cause. You know, like Sharon, we've seen she's fallen in love with humans. Leoben with Kara, if Kara is human, which I do want to talk about because I have more theories regarding Kara as well. And then also Six with Gaius and Hera. And we know that there's more complexity to those. Cavill, we've only really seen be a complete fucking dick. The doctor guy, Rick Worthy, I can't remember his number on the show. And then 2? They just said it in this episode and I've already forgotten it. I need to really like stick it in my head who is who. But the guy that was the reporter guy, I think he was a reporter in the miniseries. He's like one of the first ones that we saw. You know who I'm talking about. Anyway, he was with the others. Those three seem like, well, Rick Worthy, aka the doctor guy, was doing some really fucked up shit on New Caprica with women and babies and no bodily autonomy anywhere in fucking sight. So, not sad to see him die. Cavill, again, has only been fucking annoying and made bad choices. So, again, not sad to see him die. And the other guy, like, he kind of just, I don't know, he's flip-flopped, I feel. Like, we've seen moments of him being with the Sixes and stuff, and then moments of him not, so. However, I think that it's a really cool thing that what they decided to do was to, because I guess the Centurions had less sentience, right, than the most recent evolution of the machines, right? So like the Sixes and the Eights and the Fives and, you know, like the Leobans and all them, they have more sentience, I guess, more ability to reason and think and understand than the Centurions originally had, and then the Raiders do have as well. So they were taking away that from the Raiders by lobotomizing them, taking away their ability to think. And so I think that it's really cool that the response to that was, well, then we'll give the Centurions the ability to think, which they didn't really have before, or to reason, right? So giving them that allows them to more deeply feel. And then, of course, you're going to be upset because you're next, probably, right? In your way of thinking. Anyway, I just thought that was like a cool comeback for that. I feel like I just went on a long ramble tangent. Anyway, okay. So something that I wanted to talk about, because I was thinking about it in this episode and after the last episode, like after I stopped watching, and, you know, I keep thinking about the show. And like thinking about the characters and stuff, like just on and off throughout the week or the couple days or however long it is until I watch the next episode, because I like to overthink things. So I was thinking about Starbuck and her being the final one of the final five, and I feel like I'm slightly less convinced than I used to be. but I'm not completely unconvinced. So I definitely think there is still a very high possibility that she is one of the final 5, and that is who Deanna saw when she was looking at the faces of the final 5. Now, I also think that it's possible that Starbuck is merely a prophet, right? Like, Rosalind has visions. Rosalind has been able to see things that she couldn't really explain and were then justified because the path she led them on was correct, right? Like Starbuck mentioned in this episode. So Rosalind is kind of a prophet as well. Like the book of Pythia, I believe it was, says that she will lead them to Earth, but she will not live to see Earth. And I thought that it might be wrong when they found the cure for her cancer, but now knowing that it was a temporary cure, I'm thinking maybe the book of Pythia was correct and she led them to like this point, and then she just won't live to see Earth, which honestly makes me really sad because I have a really soft spot for Rosalind. I think that the actress plays her so beautifully, and I think Mary McDonnell, I think, is the actress, and I think that she just plays her so well, and I just love Rosalind as a character and her complexity and the way that she thinks and her sort of unbending commitment to saving humanity and her sort of unbending I was going to say morals. I do think that there has been a time or two where she has bent a little bit on the morals, you know, so maybe not fully unbending, but unbending enough. And I just really like to see her, but I'm very sad that I think that the end of her story might be death before we reach Earth, which is just really unfortunate that you could be the person who leads people to a place that you can never reach. And I also really hate that Adama had that moment where he told her that because she is dying, that she's worried her death will be as meaningless as everybody else's. And like, sorry, I'm trying not to cry. I really hate that. I hate that, you know, in his anger and his drunkenness, that he lashed out at her when she was being honest with him. And I hate that that's what he said, because I think that no matter who we are, regardless of our station or ability to affect change in the world, I don't think any of us wants our life to be meaningless, right? Like, I think that we want to at least impact the people that we love and to at least leave a legacy on them of something good. And so, I don't know, it really upset me that he said that, honestly, because I think that is most people's fear. And I just hate that he sort of recklessly threw that out. It made me sad. But speaking of Rosalind and Starbuck, I do like that because of what Rosalind said to Adama, that he listened to her, like he took in what she said, and he was like, she is right. But then he also sort of did something unexpected with it, which is he acknowledged that what she was saying was true, but he also acknowledged that the way that he felt was true, and that if there is even the smallest possibility that Kara can lead them to Earth, he has to believe in her and her ability to do that. And so he's going to give her like a small scouting, like a vessel and a crew, which it looks like Hilo is going to be a part of, which I love Hilo, so that makes me happy. And they're going to make their way to try to follow the coordinates and get to Earth. Now, could this be completely disastrous, especially given what we know about what that hybrid guy said in the Razor movie? Which, what did he say? Hold on. Someone put the exact quote on the last episode, so... Okay. Kara Thrace will lead the human race to its end. She is the herald of the apocalypse, the harbinger of death. They must not follow her. They must, oh, hi Samuel, not follow her, okay? So, like, I'm very stressed because, like, here's the thing. Hi bud. I love Kara, and I love Adama, and I love their relationship, and I love Lee, and, like, I'm very invested in all of them, right? Because the show has made you very invested. And, like, a part of me wants Adama to trust her because I don't want her to suffer, and I don't want her to be so, like, upset and lost and all of that stuff. However, knowing that they must not follow her, that she is, what was the exact quote? I already forget it. What's wrong with me? Ooh. Will lead the human race to its end. She will lead the human race to its end. To its end, you guys! Like, that stresses me out because, again, I've already told you, my ultimate hope for the show is that humanity and Cylons can live in peace and harmony at the end, possibly on Earth, right? So, I don't want the humanity... Now, here's the thing. If you think about it, let's see. We're reading the quote again. I'm sorry, you guys. Sometimes it takes me a second. So, human race to its end. She's the herald of the apocalypse, the harbinger of death. They must not follow her. Now, if you want to look at that another way, you could also look at it as maybe what I'm thinking could happen, but the way that it happens is that humans and Cylons, like, you know, like Hera, they become a race that is a combination of both of them. So thus humanity, like pure humanity, dies, but humanity lives on as a hybrid of humans and Cylons. So, you know, we could look at it that way as well. But, you know, we just don't know, and it's quite stressful. It's quite stressful to think of, like, what all it could mean, right? Now, I do think that Katie Sackhoff did an amazing, amazing job in this episode, this entire show, honestly. But, like, you really felt her pain and her struggle throughout this episode of, like, it's physically hurting her in a way to go further away from, like, this thing that she just knows is the truth. I don't know. Like I said, I still don't know if she is the final of the final 5 Cylons, or if she is just a prophet, or just adjacent, like she's like human but with these prophetic powers or visions or whatever you want to call it. Like, I don't know. The fact that she has a destiny beyond what has been stated is, or not stated, what has been known has been apparent for a long time. So I'm really curious as to where they will go with that. Now, if it is not Kara who is the final of the final 5, who could it be? Is the question, right? Like, could it be Adama? Could it be Rosalind? Could it be Gaius? Gaius would make a lot of sense because of all the Christ-like symbolism and allegories and sort of ideas, right? So I don't know. I think that that's going to be interesting to sort of follow that vein and see where that leads. Also interested in Gaius and Tori and, like, how that information and situation is going to play out. Also, Gaius has a head Gaius now, which is so... I can't even, like... Because 6 had a head Gaius, and Gaius had a head 6, but now Gaius has a head Gaius. And it's just, like, It's very confusing. I don't understand exactly how it works, or like where they come from, or what they are, or what they know. Head 6 is maybe an angel because that's kind of what she said. I'll believe her. What the fuck is Head Gaius? I don't know, but he knows something. And did Head Gaius tell Gaius to make the music metaphor? Because then he definitely knows something, because that's not a coincidence that he was talking about music, and music is what woke up Tori and the other Cylons. Also, I think it's cool that we now have confirmation that the Raiders did recognize Anders in some way, shape, or form. Like, they didn't know fully that he was Final Five, but they knew that he was one of them enough that they retreated. They knew that the Final Five were with the fleet, or at least strongly suspected, which is interesting. I also think it's really interesting, the whole debate about should we adhere to the strict articles of our religion and not even think about, question, contemplate the Final Five, or should we, because the Final Five are our origin story, try to figure out who they are, what they are, and how that pertains to us and who we are and what we are. And honestly, I love the idea that Six and Boomer and Leoben chose the side of, like, maybe it's forbidden for us to, like, look for the Final Five or talk about them or think about them in any way. But you know what? Like, fuck that. That is our history, and we deserve to know who we are, where we came from, why we're here. And also, something changed. Like, maybe at some point, like, maybe it was just up until this point in time that we weren't supposed to question them or talk about them or think about them. But now we've passed this point in time, so we should question and talk and think and wonder and try to seek out them, right? So I really like that idea too, because I like the idea of, like, just questioning things that don't make sense to you, right? Just because something has always been this way doesn't mean that that's the way that it always has to be. Just because you're told this is, you know, the religion you follow, this is what you believe, doesn't mean that you can't question that and change your opinion and what you know and think based off new evidence and new facts, right? I like the idea of trying to get all of the information of a thing, especially when that thing directly pertains to you and your life and who you are. Because I think everybody deserves the truth of who they are and where they came from, right? I am really curious about where the whole Kara and Hilo and the ship and what they're going to find, where they're going to go, if they're going to go to Earth, and then all of the repercussions that might follow if the fleet follows her there. A little bit worried about that. Also curious to see where it goes, because I think that we also have to follow Kara. You know what I mean? Like, it's part of her destiny. It's part of the way that the show works. Like, we can't just stop following her story now. So I'm curious as to where that's going to go. And I'm curious as to what's going to happen with Lee. He is going to a civilian ship, presumably. And he is going to be a lawyer, be just a regular person in this world. Or was he going to be... Well, maybe he was going to be an advisor to the president. Did I forget that in the last episode? He was going to take over some position, but now I forget what it was. But I'm really curious to see, like, where his story goes from here. And I'm glad that he's pursuing what he wants. And I love the send-off that they gave him, and it made my heart happy. So I'm curious where that's going to go. Basically, long story short, I'm curious as to where the rest of the season is going to go, and I can't wait to sort of follow the storylines as they unravel and unroll. And yeah, I hope to see you there each episode with me trying to figure everything out. Probably me being incredibly wrong, as I usually am. But hopefully it's not annoyingly wrong. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, if you want, you can like, comment, and subscribe if you aren't already. You can also watch the next episode right now over on Patreon if you're watching this on YouTube, as well as my entire full-length reaction to this episode and every single episode thus far of Battlestar Galactica, including the miniseries, the Resistance webisodes, and the Razor film. I hope to see you guys over there. Until then. Bye, guys. Or until next time. Because you don't have to come to Patreon if you don't want to. It's all going to be here anyway. Except for the full length. Anyway. Until I see you next. Bye, guys.